So here we are. I'd like to try to vibe code a CRM. I know that it doesn't sound funky at all, and it is not. I've been trying to use CRM for the past 20 years, and whether it's HubSpot, Salesforce, or whatever software you have, I can't really figure out just how to. I cannot like just enter the data, and I think it's really a pain in the ass to just put all the data, and I feel like the data are kind of dead in a CRM. They're just like sleeping data, and I'm thinking about probably leveraging MCP and LLM to try to do a very, very super simple CRM. And the LLM and the AI will be at the heart of the system. And I tried to code the least amount of code possible just to try to figure out if it's possible to do a very simple CRM with MCP. And I tried to, of course, I will develop with Cursor, and let's try to do that. So I start from scratch. So that is to say, I have like nothing, no database, no rules, no files. It's just like completely from scratch, and we're going to try to do that the best we can. So I will use Python. I will use probably Pydantic, Fast API. I use Cursor for the LLM and vibe coding stuff, but I also have an extension called amcode. I hope you can hear me fine. And yeah, we're gonna try to vibe code that and see how far we can go. So first thing first. We're not gonna start coding just right now, because it's just like, I know like every software engineer just want to start from scratch, just and just be the feet in the starting blocks and just run and just code and open your editor and just start coding. And I don't think it's a good way to do that. So because an LLM, because what I have in my head, first of all, is not very defined. And second of all, for what it is defined, there is very, very little chance that the LLM and the IDE just can figure out what I have in my head and just code that right first shot. So it's just not possible. So I will first try to iterate my thoughts and my logic and what I want to do with the IDE, with Cursor, and just like try to get a grasp on what my CRM could look like functionally, like on a functional point of view, on a business point of view, and not just start hands on my keyboard and just like start coding like that. I hope you don't hear a small cat in the background who is meowing because he's in another room and he's really, really not happy at the moment. So I hope he's gonna sleep now. But anyway, I think the mic is just very on my voice, so it should be okay. So I'm gonna just like take Gemini, which I think is the best model right now. And I'm going to ask, and I'm just like giving my ideas just like that. I want to create a super simple CRM system with the least amount of code, and I want to iterate and ideate you to put that down in a markdown file. I want like companies, normal CRM as companies. I want like maybe clients. I want, I think about interactions. And that's it. Like for the time being, the entity would be the entities would be like company have one or more clients. Interactions are between clients. Can be emails, phone calls, etc. Clients are people with standard demographics, plus mail, plus phone, plus LinkedIn URL. Companies have addresses and websites. You give me a functional markdown file with that. So yeah, is just like creating what I ask. So I don't use, I show you, but I don't have any cursor rules. There are no MCP at all, no rules. For the time being, I just don't care having specific rules. So here I have simple CRM, companies, company ID, name, address, website, created, updated, many clients, client's first name, email, blah, 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 text. Interactions, type, timestamp, notes created by user ID, got a user later. Yeah, created relation. Sounds good. So now I have that. I will try to ask for a minimum SQL schema for that. But yeah, give me standard SQL schema plus of goals and all for this use case. Add the user entity table and also start a new tab and can made a diagram of this CRM. Okay, now we have just created the schema. very standard interactions with their company. So that's cool. Now, ask for CRM diagram. Hope it's okay. Just gonna check if you. So here it is, like very simple, and but I don't think the user table. Okay, cool. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna a bit challenge this like functional first draft of a very minimalistic CRM. I want to try to, well, ask the LLM to create maybe fixtures or maybe standard SQL queries related to this CRM schema. Just like, so create SQL div or schema for standard actions in the CRM. So just like create, update, retrieve, delete, queries like search, then create if not present or if present, and do that in other markdown file, because you just want to see if it makes sense and if the schema that I have in like this very simple schema is kind of okay. And I think I will also ask in parallel, just like create a standard README file about this project with all the you have in CRM diagram, It's very neat to have the ability to have different tabs on cursor. Helps a lot. Okay, CRM queries, standard SQL queries for simple CRM, blah, blah, blah. Create, company, with, complex search and creative not present, and like the companies, blah, blah, insert company, do, update, for user, client. So client is related to company. Company ID, client by ID. I retrieve all clients for a specific company, etc. Actions. Search. Okay, sounds good. And then we should have our simple CRM entity interaction. So you see, I haven't created, I haven't entered or created any code right now, because I think it would be very premature to just kind of start to code. I kind of used to do that prior, and I think it's really not that cool. Sometimes it's cool, but most of the time you just hit a wall within 2 or 3 hours because it's a mess, because you've not thought about like the functional, the constraint, the interaction, stuff like that. So I will just try to create another tab and just ask the model to kind of challenge. Gonna put everything in the context right here, like drag and drop, and I will ask, can you challenge this model of simple CRM and just point me the weaknesses and if we get some holes or like mistakes or nonsense in the ID or is or the case. I'm gonna just create a new folder. It would be like weird with that. Okay. I go for decent for entity interaction clients for the I standardize. Sounds good. I think it sounds good for a first shot. So now we create the database and the code itself. So I will another tab here, add the I want now full. So here, go into my code directory. Now I will probably create some rules. Now create cursor rules for a project item with the or whole project SQLite. I think I will use SQLite because it's easy and it's local and that. And SQLite identic. No test for the time being. Yeah, try that. It's not what I want. I want to run for cursor rules for my project. But rule prompt project with tick stuff. Well, light. Oh. Project rules. Now, rules. Okay, so here I'm going to do UV init UV init base. This init initialize UV project into that subdirectory code, and then you do UV env. I'm gonna use Python 3.12 because I think it's a stable version, and what we'll create is yeah, so it's okay. So now it just creates a virtual env, and then I need to source this guy, and you see that my venv is activated in this subdirectory code where I got my like first version of the code. So now in the code, create a simple let's just first create full SQLite script to load SQL schema. Well, in the code it's not really clever to have named that code because it's the @code kind of stuff on cursor, which is gonna be, it's not gonna be cool. Name it project. It's not cool either. CRM code. Okay. In the CRM code. So create a simple SQLite script to be able to SQLite Python script in order to load the SQL schema, blah, blah. And then create a file with a set of fixtures that would work well with our schema. Do that. I'm gonna add UV add I think SQLite is so load schema Python script that will create a SQLite database crm.db doesn't map fixtures. Let's see first this guy, blah blah blah. Then we get fixture.sql that should have add new stuff into our database. Okay. So we should be able Python not good. Oh yeah, we changed. Yeah, we changed the name of the folder, so it didn't make sense. So cd trim cd CRM code, then source a good one. That's not working. Dev A, activate source dot it should be good. That's the good Python. So now we should be able to run our load schema. Attempting to load schema, blah, blah, blah. Database will be created. Schema from blah, 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 successfully loaded. It could be good to have a viewer for our simple so extension, right? There should be read that stuff. Core and query. Okay. Go back here. Yep. Core and query SQL. It should be SQLite 3. Maybe the extension. Weird. That's weird. Load. Open the door. Guys. Ah, yeah, it's here. SQLite Explorer. Very easy to find. So we got clients, we got company interactions, user. We should be able to show table. Have some. Oh yeah, we don't have any fixture at the moment. Just we have just created the database, but nothing else. So now we need to load the fixtures. So I have load fixture, for example. Let me know. Fixture into the database using the SQLite tool, or by modifying the Python script to execute. So I think we're gonna try like SQLite new query and just take all that kind of stuff here, put that here, and execute. Run selected queries. Right, run selected query. Okay. Yeah, cool. Cool, not cool. Why is client ID null? Shouldn't be, right? Not very cool when you have an ID which the company is the same, interaction is the same. So we got a problem. I need to find out why. So I'm gonna like all the tables, all the records, the database have null ID in their ID column. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that clients just to give the model a hint about that. So it could be at the creation of the database. Got a primary key. Or it could be at the execution of the queries themselves. I don't know. You're right to point that out. To point that out. Yeah, thank you. I'm absolutely right. The issue of null. Updated the schema, replace serial primary key with integer key, blah blah. Okay. Let's do that again. So we're gonna crash this guy. We're gonna run again our Python script. Created the database. We don't care about that. We're gonna take another one. Open database, this guy here. Okay, and then we're gonna take again all our fixtures. We run selected queries. Then, boom, we get the ID, which is cool, which is kind of cool. So we get a working, very, very small database, which should represent our very, very super simple CRM. So now we're starting the hard part. This was the easy part. So now, basically, I think I'm gonna have ideate a bit. I'm gonna take Excalibur because I want to kind of think more before coding anything. My idea is that if we give enough information to powerful LLMs, today's state-of-the-art LLM, if we give enough information about the schema about our use case, like all the information that we already have, plus maybe templates of SQL queries or stuff like that, we should be able to have our MCP clients, like Cloud Desktop, for instance, or Cursor, or whatever, that could directly create on its own the different queries in order to kind of like feed the system. For instance, I'd like to be able to say to Claude, I just had a meeting with like I don't know, client A, and we talked about blah blah. Save this into our CRM, and I'd like the LLM to be able to understand that because we're using. So that was a prior experimentation. So we still have a working MCP server, which was a very old one. So I'm just gonna decline for this guy because we've just started a new thing. But you got the idea that the model could be able to understand what the user wants and map these actions into different set of SQL queries that are valid according to the schema. So we're gonna try that. So maybe what I can do is just maybe I could connect Cloud Desktop with file system. Maybe I can just add. Maybe I can add files. I'll try something here. Then I will also add our schema. Based on these files, other based on these files, I'd like to try to add a new client for company called Flint. The client name is Pierre Vannier. How would you do that? So I just gave Claude all our information in Markdown, which is also why it is very important to kind of start with functional IDs and like written Markdown kind of stuff, because it will help like further down the road, it would help the LLM being able to perform actions based on text, which is the very nature of LLM, which is to be good reading text and inferring from text. So you should have, the more information you have on your functional business use case, whatever, in Markdown or other text formatted, the more you have that, the less comfort zone and the more focused and laser focused you are when the LLM will give you an answer. And so you really need to kind of, like, imagine you really need to kind of give very clear boundaries and frontiers and like fences, so that the LLM cannot just like jump out of the field and jump out of the fence and just like do whatever it wants to do, because you don't want that, because it's gonna create a lot of text, a lot of code, which is not what you want. Like you have 1 out of 1 million chance, if you are not very precise, to get the right thing. So you really need to be very precise up front, very first. So here, adding a new client for Flint company. But Pierre Vannier as a client for the company Flint, we'll need to first check if the company Flint already exists in our database. If not, create the company record. Once we have the company ID, create the client record for Pierre Vannier, blah, 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 blah. So basically, with all these information, the LLM should be able to kind of mostly perform like everything, like all the logic of a simple, normal CRM, which is what we've done so far, is so simple that the LLM, like very good LLMs, just today's large language model, it's very easy for them to kind of figure out how and which queries kind of to give. So I will just try to give me the set of the sequential set of queries that I could perform and test if your guess is right. Okay. So let's try that. That's not, of course. So I that, but run selected queries. Okay, parse error. Maybe I can just use SQL. Yeah. So no, it clearly, like, it clearly shows just what I explained 2 minutes ago. Like, I just asked for a set of queries, and because I wasn't precise, it just chose, for whatever reason, to give me PostgreSQL specific syntax, which is not what I'm running right now, because I'm running SQLite. So it just like, illustrates very well what I said just earlier, that the more precise you are, the less prone to errors you are as well. Hopefully. Yeah, cool. So we get our different set of SQL instructions and queries, and, so that we can like be able. So he has probably created the company, yeah, and then also the client, and then link the client to the company, right? Is client, here it is. So now we'll try to, because I want to kind of try to see if what my assumptions, which are you have all the information, the schema, the business case, the use case, all markdown information, also very precise information about the context that you give to the LLM. My question and assumptions is you just ask to perform actions which are linked to this business case, and the LLM should be able to infer the right sequential set of instructions and queries. That's my assumptions. That's what I'm trying to do prior to kind of like create an MCP or whatever. So now I will try to, so good, it worked. Now I'd like RM queries. I'm gonna RM queries. Create new file called RM actions.py with a set of English natural language actions that a user could be willing to perform, going from the very simple actions to very, very complicated actions that would need steps and temporary, or how do you say, not temporary, but intermediate results and aggregation in order to perform the final action. Yeah, you said it better. RM actions. My idea is to see whether we could take these actions, natural language actions. I think the model just nothing. Ask again. I will give these actions to Claude, try to see if with very more complicated set of actions, it can also give the right sequential queries to be able to perform the actions. Okay, to Gemini. Sometimes it gets stuck like that. Really, really annoying. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Cursor. I think it's Gemini. And it just said like it completed, but it did nothing. Just like generating here. Then it said completed, but sometimes just there is nothing. Nothing has been done. And maybe it's gonna be again. Yeah, so when it's like that, best thing is, like with your computer, when you want to reboot the whole stuff, just give it whole context, ask it again. Instead of rebooting, I just creating a new tab, a new chat. Hopefully it will work. Or the US are just waking up. They're taking all the GPU and inference and good models, and so that us poor European just get the crappy ones, or just like pull old tokens. Half joking. Yeah. Let's take a look at this thing. So here we get CRM user action, basic single action, client management, user management. Complex action, multi-step aggregation, reporting, load. Just gonna take all this, ask our friend here. Here are a set of actions. Want you to global SQL file with all the queries that are needed to perform these actions one after reminder. We're on SQLite. Just gonna try to see something. MCP list.
All right, so this is a neat new feature that was added to the Claude desktop app. It is the Model Context Protocol, I believe, MCP for short. Just want to run through a
because it would be good to be able to just use SQLite from. drift. We still like think all the queries. So there is a SQLite. I don't want to do that because it would imply that, like, if you build a CRM, chances are that you would use this CRM with other people. So that means that the database wouldn't be a local one, but you would access an MCP server that would be maybe like on hosted whatever, wherever you want. But on this MCP server, then you could have like an endpoint and a set of tools kind of with authentication and stuff like that, which would be a central MCP server that other users could use as well. Because if I just like only use MCP SQLite server from my machine, my cloud desktop locally, it wouldn't mean anything. It's just like it would just be a wrapper to a SQLite database for like queries and stuff like that. So I think it's not the right path to try to code something right. So where is Claude? So now you have everything here. Take all this. Create another file. Like textures scenario.sql. Okay. Then I'm gonna run these queries. We don't have errors. Could do better. I'm gonna do something. Create texture script that take is them the result, the expected result. Like it's not want take queries. I think if we get no errors, just like maybe we could start coding the MCP server. Basically, what the MCP server could do would be to wait for a set of queries to come from MCP client. So, for instance, so I think I will just Python MCP server. So that's, I think it's fast MCP. Official Python for MCP. So I will create a new tab here. Like this. The tab. Will I want to MCP server, MCP. I think there is a new version of I know there is a version with the authentication. Just let's start. The server would basically take all queries. Built JSON. Of course, we would need to add authentication because we don't want it's open to the world without authentication. So I'm gonna give the there is a I'm gonna give the all Parallel context protocol, Python SDK, context. Fast MC tool. Oh, cool. There is an example with a simple GitHub auth. Cool. Try that. Try that. Interesting. I think I'm gonna just like give that. Here's an MCP server with a simple auth. With GitHub. Let's do now. Probably need to go to the GitHub client. Right. Okay. Probably have something. Application. setting, developer setting, OAuth app. OO. Okay, let's say QRL. Click register application, note down your client ID and client secret. Guys, gonna be here, right? I think I'm gonna just gonna cut the stream just for a minute. Be able to, yeah, do the. I don't want you to see my create new secret. Okay. 1 minute, get back. I know you don't see anything, it's just like normal because just thoughts. I'm just writing down API keys and secret and stuff like that. I don't want the whole world to see that. Find secret, just be a minute. Find. Okay, should be good. Be seeing me again. So I've created the on variables for GitHub OAuth to work, and then so this guy has just created a bunch of CRM project. We don't care, rough, whatever, Python. Yeah, so this is overkill. I just don't want that. So if a model just gives you things that you're not happy with, 100% of the time it's just because you haven't asked the model to, you haven't asked the model what you really want, because you don't know what you really want yourself. So I'm gonna just like erase all that thing, and I will try again. I have this super simple CRM schema and a database which is fine, working great. Now I want super MCP server that would do just this. Expose one single tool that would perform a SQL query or a set of queries on local SQLite DB. The tool would turn the results in JSON to the calling MCP client. I do want a simple, everything is simple. I do want a simple auth mechanism, just like in this official example. Then take back is using poetry. I thought I was clear about that. The code in CRM code. Use project beyond input. if you only accept everything the LLM is sending you back, you're gonna hit the wall very, very, very fast and very soon. The sooner the better, because if you wait too long, it's gonna be very, very bad. So my recipe here is, as long as I'm not satisfied with the way it is creating files or stuff on behalf of me, I just say, do it again, because like I wasn't precise enough. So we're gonna see if this latest prompt is better. Hopefully. So we got a Py project. Got a Py project with, that makes sense. Click. So anyways, that's not a big mistake. But again, I think if you look at the rules, I haven't specified which version of Python I'm using. So it's just like using 3.9 because not. And so that's my fault. Anyway, it's not a big deal. Just gonna accept the what about all the other files? We got settings, by okay, standard settings. Okay, then we get database get connection, and then we get the auth.py, full local auth provider. Okay, that part might be the part that probably coming example. Yeah. Again, it's just like just stopped without doing. Oh, I accept. Okay, so we. Okay. Now is a good time to do some chores and step back a little and create a README file about setting up this project and how to like create the environment and make it run. Okay, so I create a README file. Yeah. Add the README file with new information. Especially how to install Bootstrap and run the project. Update the README. Okay, let's create the main.py for the server. What? Man. Okay. Not what I asked. Yeah, that's better. That's better. It's still why we need human, you know, in the loop, just to be able to kind of verify what the LLM is. Okay. Okay. So we should be in here. We are in the right directory. So this uv pip install -e should install all the requirements taken from pyproject.toml, and server expect the crm.db SQLite database file. So we already have this crm.db. Sure, crm.db is writable to create by or creatable. Script configuration. Okay, that's the setting thing that we get here. We get the MCP Server host line path log level. So just want, yeah, both client ID. I will do .env. I think it's .env. Yeah. So we're gonna load the environment variable, because what you don't know, I have the variables, this OAuth client ID and OAuth client secret already in my environment variable. So I will load .env, and this will give me os.getEnv of is what they put in their example here. So I use this environment variable, that, and for the OAuth client secret, which is not good, gonna be os.getEnv of this guy. And I think I will need to import OS. Okay, the callback URL on page server callback should be good. And then auth redirect to our RI. We just want. Okay, this thing is kind of weird. Shouldn't we use that? F string, or am I just like better? I will do something like to do that. There could we ternary instantiation. I broke the come on. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. So we take the environment variable. It's if it's available and not, and if it's not, we just put a standard default value. Okay, so now we should be what is this transport? Yeah, I don't want to use this old fashioned because they changed with the new MCP protocol. I think they changed transport and add a streamable HTTP, which is kind of, I think, better than the SSE version. So we'll try to CRM MCP -- without the transport is streamable HTTP. Okay. because I think it's CRM dot, yeah, SRC, because yeah, it's in SRC. So I want to be very specific because we don't here. You can spend hours for this kind of very small and stupid kind of stuff. I want to dig into by project configuration stuff. It should be standard. It should be easy to pay it forward. But you really need to be specific because it has to do with path, with files and modules and Python. All these 4 keywords are messing around 9 times out of go up dash port. Now it's better. You're not working, but now it's fast mcp.tool selected keyword. Ooh. Seems like we have something running. So I will just do a small, that's good to take a small pause, like 5 minutes. I get back to work within 5 minutes. So I will just put a hold. See you in a bit. Again. I think you can hear me. Yeah. So far, so good. Cut the music. So I've taken back my cat. Small things like that. It's a Bengal cat. He's a kitten actually, and he was yelling in another room. So I decided to take it back, but I'm not sure it's a good idea for the rest of the stream. Anyway, we'll see. So far, what we have done is we want to create a simple CRM very minimalistic with entities like companies, clients, interactions. And my assumption is that we can leverage LLM to get the whole picture of the SQL schema and the entities relationship schema. And then we can use an MCP server to kind of execute the queries that the LLM has decided to execute. And so for the time being, we've created a SQLite database with the entities. We created different documents in Markdown for the actions, diagrams, README, stuff like that. We created a bunch of fixtures as well. And we use Cursor, and we use Gemini 2.5 Pro when it decides to work. And now we get very small, which kind of cool. Yeah, I was looking because he's writing the client ID. Hopefully he didn't write the secret key, but just a client ID, I think. So not going to be hacked by the whole world, assuming the whole world is actually watching the stream. And so we get a very minimalistic MCP server, which is running in streamable HTTP. And we have done an OAuth GitHub example. So I don't know if it works, but we have succeeded in launching the server. And then what I want to try is to be able to what kind of, I think we are logged in probably because maybe I could go and here. So I don't really know. Here's the thing. You want to say A? You want to code something? How do we do now? Assume we could add the MCP server to Code Desktop. And let's try that. Let's try, so things count something. Upper, yeah, edit config. Then we're gonna open this JSON file. Hopefully we haven't wrapped, so I'm gonna file system and Gmail MCP server right now. So onto our server config file. blah, blah, blah. This should work. So let's try to quit Claude and launch it again. Not be this one. It's very weird. So got these logs, the Claude desktop logs for our MCP server, which are identical types errors, which is I think the thing comes from when you launch this, when Claude tries to launch the server, it doesn't have the environment variable, and I think in that case we should like put the environment variable into that file, and it's probably because of that. Something like environment variables, like Claude desktop and what do you think? To the It lasted 5 minutes. So there is a way to find variable file. Yeah, so here we I'm gonna just like move my capture for a minute, paste the good I paste secret stuff, the code for nuclear launch weapon. Not gonna share that with you. Got and go back. Oh. So let's start again, but I think this time could be now. That's better. Yeah, it's better because now it's just like, it's probably because I have another server which is running in the terminal. So I think it should be working now, probably. It's working, but we don't have any of our. It's running. Cool. So it should be. It's weird because I think it should be, or maybe we don't have any tool. Do you have any tool on the? Cannot see. Full name. Secure. Well. you should be able to see the server running, but we are not. Up. Like seems like we already have something about 1000. So if so it's always very useful to get to have a tab in ask mode and not in agent mode, so that you can like ask things without changing anything. So yeah, we get things. Let's kill guys. Okay, now we got nothing. Let's start again. We don't have error anymore. But we don't have neither our MCP, which have exposed something, which is weird. It's very weird. Give again example that here is again the full we got a close event on the log, right? Did that. I don't know if you can hear the kitten. It's just like he's turning crazy. think the guy is going to break the door or something. But we get an error here. It started and then CRM SQL message, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we got a timeout. Got a timeout. So this is not good. So here is again the official Python SDK MCP auth GitHub example book code for inconsistencies. Also, the logs of code desktop for our MCP server are in fail mode when there is some kind of timeout. Okay. I'm gonna take him back. Okay. didn't ask much. The drawback. Everything in there is with the So yeah, we got a MCP server. Seems to be running okay in the terminal, but not running okay in MCP client, which we are using for desktop. I tried to figure out the reason of this. It seems to be related authentication thing. Maybe it's a good time that for us to switch to code, giving us so code is cursor VS Code extension that basically does it like cursor. So you get the at things to your context. But you need to have an agent.md, the root of your, we're going to create agent.here. The ask So Omcode works with having an agent file that gives like directions to agent. That's what I understand. Really simple. Just okay. I think we're gonna have more viewers for the cat code. Help me, you know. use transport equal SSE instead of stringable HTTP. No, thank you. Sorry, but don't want. Okay, cool. I changed the model because I was using the older version of 5. Hopefully, will be better. Seriously, all this for one line. Okay. I'm not very confident. Okay. Let's still don't see as it's running, but still don't have it. Here we should have. It's not should show up. Oh. We'll try. Give this example. Because we still have some setting. It's not I'd really like to have at least the server pop up. Try to have one action performed MCP. Yeah, I think we might blah blah. Crucial part. About stating. Okay. do on creation. The examples should be done. not working. I think the issue is not very very big, in fact. Anyway, I think I'm gonna keep all that stuff for tonight. We get things that seems to work at least. At least here, the terminal, but when it's on so I'm going to try to debug that, and on my next stream I think I will come with a solution about this problem and try to identify this problem, and then I will report to you about what it was, and I will just keep things like that for the time being and not code anymore on that. I need to figure out why our server is showing up in Cloud Desktop. Here we can actually see it, but it starts and then it just failed for whatever reason. So yeah, I need to find out why. I figured this out. Thank you for watching. It was my first stream. Hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to connect or ask questions. Yes, my cat is really a mess, and yes, it's difficult to kind of think with a kitten who is doing everything bad around. Thank you all. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.